how I seize opportunities for beach fishing. Hi fishing friends, my name's Roger Osborne. In tonight's video, I'm going to teach you exactly what I'm doing tonight and why I've chosen this spot and what baits I'm using and my rigs. Make sure that you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell because I really appreciate it. Now let's get into it. Whatever type of fishing, you always have to evaluate the situation that you're in, the current weather patterns, the ocean, all of those sorts of things, and the tide. So I always think about that before I go fishing. I'm thinking about it long before I go. So I've chosen this place tonight because I have a southerly wind and this corner is going to be nice and protected. I'll have the wind at my back. It's a low tide about an hour before dark. Also, I'm at the entrance of a lake which has only just opened up in the last 2 or 3 days. And that is always a really good thing because you've got all of this lovely food that is spilling out of the lake into the ocean. And that really attracts all sorts of fish, sharks, big fish, little fish, who are waiting for all the goodies to come out of the lake. So I'm down here now. It's really beautiful actually because on this side here it's really calm. On the other side of this little area, if I look south, it's windy, there's big waves, it's a real mess. So it's such a contrast. And so that's obviously why I've chosen this spot for those reasons. So I've actually got, tonight I've got some live mullet. I quickly grabbed a few live mullet. I've got some pilchards and I've got a few frozen salted beach worms because I didn't have time to go beach worming this afternoon. So I have those 3 baits. So initially I'm going to chuck out a live mullet. So hopefully there's something out there sniffing around that is going to like a live mullet. It's also only going to be about a 1 hour fish again because the sun's just about to disappear and I'm not really going to fish a long time after dark. I'm just going to fish this prime time right now. So I'm going to grab a live mullet and whack it on. You can see these are not huge mullet. They're just what I was able to catch. You know, they're actually a perfect size for flathead fishing in the lake or the river. Still, they're going to be a good bait out here either way. Something will like it. So I have actually got, that's actually an 8-0 hook. And I've got a running rig. So I've got my leader to an 8-0 hook and my sinker, I have it on a dropper, which is like a running dropper. You can see my star sinker there with that hanging like so. I'm going to whack this mullet on and gently chuck him out, or as gently as I can. So I'm not going to hook him through the mouth, I'm going to hook him through the back like that. I just want to get him out behind the drop off here. I don't have to cast far, I just want to get it over the edge into the deep water. And as I walk out here, I'm going to give him a little bit of a reviver. Because he's been out of the water for a couple of minutes. Actually, there's a little sandbar here. I'm going to walk across, depends on how deep this is actually. The water is pretty brown from spewing out of the lake. It does get a little bit shallower out here, but I can see a set wave coming out the back. So hopefully when that breaks, it's not going to wet me. And I don't really want to lose another microphone. Whoops, that's almost wetting me. I've just got to get up onto this shallow sandbar. That's better. Oh, there's a backwash. Alrighty, you can see these waves breaking here. All I really want to do is get this out behind where the waves break. So I'm going to walk out as far as I can because, you know, I've got a big bait on. Okay, that's about as far as I'm willing to go. Okay, alrighty. Beautiful, that's a good spot. Gotta try and get back in again. I guess this looks like I'm a long way out, but I'm just going to have this mullet out as a set line. We'll see how long this mullet lasts out there. Whew. It's a bit of a wading exercise class. Just got to grab my one of my rod holders and I'm going to leave this guy down here. Yeah, something's going on. I don't know if that's a fish or the mullet. I have a feeling there could be something on there. don't think that's just the mullet. What's going on here? Yeah, I've got a fish of some kind. Oh, you know what it is? It's a tailor, I reckon. It's taken that mullet. How's that? First cast, wasn't out there very long. Oh my gosh, I can see fish in the waves. All right, well, we'll get this guy in. If it's a tailor, I'm going to smoke him. Not like a cigarette, of course. So first cast, got a fish. Sun's just about to disappear. Come on. I hope I don't get bitten off. Actually, it's not a tailor, it's a salmon. Look at that, that little salmon took that live mullet. In fact, I can see the mullet down his throat. Have a look at that. You see that mullet down there? Classic. Oh, it's still flipping. Well, there you go, that little mullet did its job. I'm going to keep this guy because the other salmon we caught 1 week ago, they're all gone. We ate them pretty quick. Look at that. Head first down there. Okay, got to get it back out there. You know, even though it's blowing a southerly, it's so beautiful here. Just goes to show you that it's all about picking the right place. I don't think I'll have my bait out there very long before I get a bite. It's a beautiful time of the evening, and I'm just at the back of where this water's washing out of the lake, just over the edge. I'm only just throwing out just beyond where it drops off, so I don't have to cast out all that far. Hang on, that rod's got a fish by the looks. Yep. So I'll swap rods. So this is the second live mullet that I threw out. Oh, what happened then? I think I might have lost it. Yeah, pretty sure I have. Oh no, hang on. I thought I had a fish, but it's just the mullet. That's surprising because my rod was bending over a fair bit. So anyway, I'm just going to chuck this guy back out. Not too far. Yeah, that's a good spot there. Oh well, that was a false alarm. I was getting too trigger happy. So hopefully I've still got bait left on my other rod. I'm going to pull this one in because I don't know whether I've got bait or not, and I don't really want to leave it out there if it's got no bait on it. Because it's not much good if you think you've got bait on your line and you don't, because you're not going to catch anything. So I'd rather check it. That other mullet must have been scared by something because it was actually pulling the rod over a bit. Yeah, I have no bait, so actually look, so I know what the culprit is. That's a tailor. This is only a relatively light leader. This is where the world's deadliest rig would come in very handy because of the wire trace. So I have a bit of slightly heavier leader. I'm going to try putting that on instead. So I've opted to put on some ganked hooks because the last thing I want to do is get bitten off by those tailor. And I do have some 30-pound fluorocarbon, but you know, I may get one in on that, but I'm going to use this. I've got some pilchards. I'm going to whack them on the ganked hooks instead because lots of fish like pilchard. I could catch a whole variety of fish on this, so I'm going to whack that whole pilly out, and at least I'm sure that I won't get bitten off, which is good. And then I'll have to watch my other line. Nice, I like that. I like that position. So when I plan to go fishing, I'm always weighing up my options. The first thing that I do is have a look at the prevailing conditions and see how big the waves are. And there's actually quite a decent sized south swell. It's about 2 meters, which is not massive, but the open beaches are copping a lot of waves. And they're basically just wrapping around the corner here, but it's beautiful in this corner. It's nice and protected. And it's got the added bonus of the lake flowing out, which is really good. So we'll see what happens over the next little while, but you know, they're certainly some great ingredients for fishing success. And coupled with the time of the day. Also I'm fishing really the first hour or so of the run-in tide, which is pretty good as well. Yep. Whoa. That was a pretty solid hit, actually. Yep, he hit pretty hard, that thing. What's he doing? So this is on that pilchard on the ganked hooks that I just chucked out. First cast with the pilchard on the gangs. All right, okay. What's going on? Can't see it yet. Now, it hasn't jumped out of the water. It doesn't mean it's not a salmon. It could be, but it hasn't jumped out of the water, whatever it is. Okay, I've got it pretty close here. Oh, look at that. It's not very big, actually. It's I foul hooked it. So that's why it felt a little bit bigger, because I've sort of hooked it sideways. And I was pulling it inside on. So this, what they call skippy in Western Australia, or trevally. So they're quite sweet when they're this size. And I can tell that he's within the legal limit, so I think I'll probably keep him. Just got to watch out I don't get one of those ganked hooks in my finger. I don't want to get my bait out there pretty quick. Just had a bit of a nibble. Come on. I didn't get a decent bite, I just had a bit of a nibble. Hang on, that's a bite. It's coming back towards me. Yep, got him. Well, all right. Ooh. A little bit bigger than the last one. Okay, that's good. A little bit of guts. What have I got this time? It's feeling a little bit like another trevally. That's what it's feeling like. I'm walking down to the water's edge because I'd rather get closer to the fish than be miles up the beach. Yeah, I reckon it's a trevally by the way it's fighting. I mean, it's fighting like it's... Oh, it's actually a little salmon. Yeah, it's another salmon. It kept... I could feel its tail whacking all the time, so that's why I thought it was a trevally. But it's just another nice, sweet little salmon. So this guy's fallen prey to those ganged hooks. It's there, had that whole pilchard on there. I'm mindful when I'm holding him, I'm actually holding him really tight because the last thing I want him is for him to shake violently and me get a hook in my finger. So I make sure I really have a firm grip on the fish. Oh well, time to get back out there. Okay, so I've thrown another live mullet out. My last one just got nailed, so without hooking up. So these pilchards are pretty big actually. Okay, so it's thick and fast at the moment. Having two rods is a handful. The main reason I'm using two rods is because I do want to have a nice large live bait out there while I'm fishing for a more with a more standard bait. Although these mullet are not that big, so that's why the salmon and that are able to nab them. Okay, this time we have a tailor. So that's our third species for the evening. And thankfully, look, he's hooked in the eye. So this tailor is hooked in the eye, but my line, or my leader, is very frayed. You can see how frayed that line is, right up to near where my thumb is. It's very frayed. So I actually can't throw this out again without putting a new leader on, because the tailor are making short work. This is a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, but still doesn't last very long with tailor. My big rod's got nothing on it, no sinker, no hook, nothing, all gone. So I'm just winding it in. There was something solid that took that mullet, but I have a feeling the tailor might have bitten through the main line. So I'm going to put this one to bed. Okay, I got him. As soon as my bait hit the water, I hadn't even clicked my bail arm over and I was getting nailed already. I think I might have... Nah, still got it. Oh, he's getting washed up the beach. Woo! It's another Sammy salmon. There's obviously a lot of fish out there. I've only been fishing for about 45 minutes. I've got 5 fish, which is plenty for me to eat, so we're going to call it quits for a night. So thanks for joining me, I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy these videos. I can tell by all the comments, so I really appreciate that. And I think I might be even going fishing again tomorrow night. It's just so beautiful out here. So remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.